Huge jobs report today. The January jobs report came out, and wow. And what's even more interesting is what was said about the November and December reports. I also have an update on the status of foreclosures in general. And the renovation over in Branford is moving along nicely. We're expecting to have that wrapped up in the next couple weeks. I've got some updates for you. I'm Dave with the Bolduc Realty Group. Welcome to my weekly real estate market update. Today is February 2nd. Let's talk about some key Connecticut market stats. On the market today, we have 3,485 homes listed. That is down 36 from last week. It's probably the lowest numbers that I've seen. Over the last 24 hours, we had 266 new homes come on the market. Usually we were seeing about 300 before Thanksgiving. We've been about 200 since then. So we are seeing a little bit of an uptick, but the demand is still strong enough that we're still seeing the number of houses on the market drop. We had 3,047 closings in December. We're at about 2,300 recorded right now for January. It usually takes a few days to get all the records in, so I'll check in probably next week, and we should have a pretty good number for January by that point. Based on the December sales, we got about 1.15 months of inventory on the shelf, so it's pretty low. The big events in real estate this week were the Fed meeting earlier in the week and the jobs report. The Fed meeting played out pretty much as we expected. They held the Fed fund rates unchanged. They came out in their comments after the meeting and said, hey, we want more data, we want more time. We want to make sure that when we do lower the Fed funds rate, we're not going to see inflation come roaring back. The jobs report, almost as if it wanted to validate the Fed's position, came out hot today. It was expected to be 180,000 new jobs, came out to be 353,000 new jobs. It's almost twice the forecast. That shows the economy is still moving strongly. What's more important, or not maybe more important, but another point is November and December were both revised upward. So November had 7,000 to 9,000 more jobs than what was previously reported. December, 117,000 more jobs. They went from 216,000 to 333,000 jobs added in December. That is a big jump. This is a clear indication that the economy is still rolling pretty strong. Additionally, wage growth was up 0.6% in January. That's twice what the forecast was. Either these people putting together the forecast are just dropping the ball, or the economy is stronger than what people really think it is. The odds of a Fed funds rate cut in March has dropped to 20%. I think that's going to 0%. I've said this several times, and I'll say it again. I think that we're not going to see a Fed funds rate cut until mid-year at the earliest. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong there and a Fed funds rate comes earlier, but I think it's going to be mid-year at the earliest. Before the jobs rate or the jobs report came out, the mortgage rates were at a local or regional or a recent low of 6.6%. They are expected to probably go back up a little bit now, hopefully not too high based on this jobs report. Mortgage applications were down 7.2% last week. Last week we had a little local high of about 6.8 to 6.9% on the mortgage rates. So that does make sense that we're going to see some variability as rates go up and down the number of people applying for mortgages. Little update on foreclosures. You see every once in a while foreclosure headlines. Oh yeah, 2023 is up significantly versus 2022. And factually it is correct, but it just doesn't give the context. This chart shows, if you look all the way over to the right, the last two bars are 22 and 23. And you can see 22 is lower than 23. Now, look to the left. All those red bars that are really, really tall, those were back in like 2009, 10, 11. Those are near 3 million foreclosures per year. 2023 was 357,000, I think. So if you compare to the most recent year before we had the foreclosure moratorium, that's 2019. We had over 400,000. This quote here says 60%, where 2023 was about 60% of the pre-pandemic numbers. And then another quote right below it's talking about people that are in a bad way, or have a delinquency on their mortgage, they're able to avoid the foreclosure. So what's happening there? Well, one thing, housing prices have gone up so much that homeowners have a lot more equity in their home than they think. And if they're in a situation where they're facing foreclosure, they can sell their house, pay off all their debts, put some money in their pocket, and have a strong footing to move forward. Having some late payments is bad on a credit report. Having a foreclosure is absolutely catastrophic. If you are facing a foreclosure or imminently facing a foreclosure, please call me, text me, 100% confidential. I will get you in contact with the right people so that you can avoid that. Some updates at the Branford house. We've made some great progress. A lot of it is we put the sheetrock up. Now we got to mud and tape and then sand. And that takes time. The compound's got to dry, all that. It's pretty boring, but that's what's going on. We did get the counter in, and you can see here the counters are in the kitchen. So now it's going to be putting the flooring down, doing all the backsplash and everything else. It's going to look pretty good. For ongoing insights in the Connecticut real estate market, please like and subscribe and follow me on social medias. Don't miss out on these weekly updates to keep you up to date with what's going on in the real estate market. I'm Dave, your guide through the real estate maze with the Bolduc Realty Group. Have a great weekend.